Good morning, one and all. This is Dr.R.Murugesan, Research Department of Computer Science, CPA College, Bodinayakanur. I am going to discuss about distributed systems. What is meant by distributions? Distribution means you have to give some information to the corresponding nearby systems. So that is the main part. Distributed information can be sharing from one system to the nearby systems. So now we have to discuss about one by one. A collection of autonomous computers linked by a network with software designed to produce an integrated computing facilities. A well-designed distributed system should be perceived as a single integrated computing facilities. The introduction of LAN at the beginning of the year 1970s triggered the development of the distributed systems. So what are the key characteristics in the distributed system? There are 6 key characteristics of distributed systems. First one, supported by resource sharing. Each resource can share by its client systems. Openness. Whatever information we want to get from that part, we can easily get it. Concurrency, without any the processor takes place simultaneously. That is the meaning for concurrency. Scalability, we can easily extend whatever systems we can able to add. Fault tolerance, whatever problems are arises, they can be easily tolerable. And then transparency, this can be easily transparent. So resource sharing, now we have to discuss out one by one what we discussed earlier. So resource sharing, the range of things that can be shared usefully in a distributed systems, including things like printer, disk, CD, ROMs, etc. and data. These are the things can easily sharing. A resource manager is a software module that manages a set of resources of particular type. And then openness. The characteristics of a systems can be extended in various ways, either in a hardware extension or software extensions. Whatever systems we want to audit, that is also possible to consider in your distributed systems. Like whatever system we want to, software we want to audit, that is also possible in this part. Historically, the computer systems are largely closed, especially in Unix, Broke and more. Concurrency. Concurrency is a distributed system, does not necessarily mean concurrency within a single pattern. As I already mentioned that the system can be considered concurrently, that means all the operations takes place simultaneously, that means parallelized. Many users invoke similar commands, many different server processes may be running. Synchronization, of course, is some problems are arising. Scalability. Distributed system operate at many different scales. 2 workstation and a file server, the client server computings are considered. Often the more important question is not can you scales, but you can scale well. So consider the internet. And then fault tolerance. Fault tolerance is the ability of a system to recover when failure occurs. What are the mistakes are there that could be easily tolerable. So in this part, required in some systems, nuisance values in others. Fault tolerance designs is based on 2 approaches: hardware redundancy, software recovery. And then hardware redundancy. What do you mean by hardware redundancy? 2 computers are employed for a single application, one acting as a standby. Very costly but often very effective the solution. Redundancy can be planned at a finer grain. Individual server can be replicated, redundant hardware can be used for non-critical activities when no faults are present. Like that, second one is software redundancy. Software must be designed so that the state of permanent data can be recovered or rolled back when a fault is detected, that is the transaction processing. And then transparency. the concealment of the separation of components in a distributed systems, access transparency, location transparency, concurrency transparency, replication transparency, failure transparency, migration transparency, performance transparency, scaling transparency. So in the place of transparency, the two most important form of transparency, access and locations. There are sometimes referred to as a network transparency, like we give an example is login command and then resource. Basic design issues. Design issues that arise specifically from the distributed nature of system include naming, communication, software structure, and workload allocations. These are the things are considered. How is this different? Resource sharing, yes. Openness, yes. Concurrency, absolutely. Scalability, would love it. Fault tolerance, maybe. Transparency, definitely not. So that's all for your presentations. Thank you very much for listening.